The function f has domain minus infinity minus 1 and is defined by f of x is equal to 4x squared minus 3. Write down the range of f. Find an expression for f minus 1 of x and write down the range and domain of f minus 1. Evaluate f minus 1 of 6. By carrying out an appropriate calculation involving f, verify that your answer to part 1 is correct. So let's have a look at the question then. Here it is here in summary form. So part A, here's the quadratic function. It's a U-shaped curve because the 4 is positive, but it only has this side of the domain. So if we were doing a quick sketch of it here, say, it's only going to be valid up to minus 1 from infinity, minus infinity up to minus 1. It's a U-shaped curve, so it's going to come down. The value at minus 1, put it in here, you get 1. 4 times 1 is 4, take 3 is 1. So this value is 1, and that's the lowest value because it comes down to here, doesn't it? So to speak, and it's a U-shaped curve. So there's our quadratic, characteristically speaking. So the range, let's put that down first of all then, of f is equal to, the range of f is basically this value here, and it's touching this minus 1 value. So put it in as we said, we get 4 times 1 minus 3, which is 1. So all the y values here then, from down to 1, so we got 1 infinity, including 1 as we said. Part B, find the inverse and write down the domain and range. So here we can let y equal 4x squared minus 3. So that tells us then that 4x squared is equal to y plus 3. So x squared then is equal to y plus 3 over 4. Square root both sides. X is equal to. Now we've got a plus or a minus when we square root. We're not sure which one it is yet, but it's the square root of the. When we square root this whole fraction, it will be the square root of the top divided by the square root of the bottom. Is it a plus or minus? Well, if we look at the picture here, for example, just by visually inspecting it, we can see that we twist this over, the y becomes the x and the x becomes the y. These values will come down here as the y flips over to the x. They will come under here. So you can see the output values, the range values are negative. So it's the negative one we think we want here by the visual inspection, but we'll confirm that by getting the other information in the question. Write down the domain. So the domain first then of the inverse function will equal the range of f, and the range of f we said above was equal to 1 infinity. So as we said, this comes underneath in the visually when we do the inverse, and it starts from 1 and goes to infinity. The range, now we said from the picture that we suspected that these were negative values, that's why we took the negative square root. The range of the inverse is the domain of f, and the domain of f is, as we said, negative values, minus infinity up to minus 1. So the range of the inverse is down here up to the value minus 1, and so we were right to suspect it was the negative square root when we square root it. Okay, that's good. So we've done that. Evaluate f minus 1/6 then. So we haven't quite finished the inverse here, have we? So let's put that in now. So f minus 1 of x, here's our, so we need to swap the symbols. It's minus the square root of x plus 3 over 2. And now c, f minus 1 of 6 then, part 1, is equal to f is equal to minus the square root of 6 plus 3 over 2. Square root of 9 is 3, so it's minus 3 over 2. Now part 2, verify that this is in fact the correct value. Okay, so let's just do ff minus 1. And we should get the value 6, shouldn't we? So this was f of minus 3 over 2, and that needs to be equal to the value 6 in order for this value to be correct. So f of minus 3 over 2 then, here's our function here, so it's 4 lots of minus 3 over 2 squared plus minus 3. When we square this fraction, the minus disappears, the 4's cancel, 3 squared is 9, 9 take 3 is 6. So it is verified.